Hey, yo, get a mic. Can I get a video on why Bud Crawford supposedly can't find an opponent, but Kell Brook has been actively pursuing him? Do I smell a duck? Hell yeah, you can get a video on that. Shout out to the homie Said 214. We're going to talk about that right here on Gym Boxing. What up? What's going on, fight fans, Gym Boxing family? This your boy Get a Mic. Welcome back to Gym Boxing, all my subscribers. Really appreciate you guys for checking into the video. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon. That way you won't miss no more videos like this one, man. Really appreciate it, man. I haven't really been able to really get a chance to talk about this whole situation because I know a couple days ago there was some news that dropped on it. But the homie Said 214 in the live stream a few days ago asked me to talk about it, man. So I'm going to get in here and chop it up, man. Terence Crawford took to Twitter a few days ago. He was basically venting about how he's not getting the proper opponents, man, that can elevate his career. He's not getting top-notch opponents. And he basically went on Twitter and was talking that he might possibly move up to 154 pounds. So, you know, Kell Brook has been actively pursuing Terence Crawford. And other guys also that negotiations hasn't been working out for is also Danny Garcia. We'll probably talk about that too. But Kell Brook actually showed up to that fight versus him in Amir Khan, man. And it looks like that fight is not going to take place. Now, there's an article on Boxing News 24, okay? Bob Arum had an interview with the homie Fred from Barbershop Conversations. And it looks as though the Kell Brook fight is out of the question, okay? Bob Arum says that the Kell Brook fight is not a meaningful fight, okay? He feels like that fight is not necessary. He doesn't believe it's going to do numbers. And I wouldn't necessarily call that a duck as far as Terence Crawford goes. I personally believe deep down inside that Terence Crawford would take on that fight, okay? I can understand why a lot of boxing fans may feel like that's not a necessary fight. What will Terence Crawford have to gain from beating Kell Brook when guys like Errol Spence Jr. already did it? He already got his eye broke by Triple G. Then he got his other eye broke by Errol Spence. So I can understand how some boxing fans may feel like it's not a necessary situation. Okay, now, but on the other hand, mostly this has to do with Bob Arum, okay? Bob Arum says that Kell Brook is not a meaningful opponent, okay? He says that, you know, he's not, he says that Kell Brook is not known in the United States, okay? And this to me shows me that Bob Arum, okay, doesn't believe in Terence Crawford's ability to sell big on pay-per-view, okay? And also the fight with Amir Khan had a lot to do with that. And I think, you know, Arum doesn't want to do low numbers like he did versus Amir Khan. And I think that's why he's basically saying that this fight is not meaningful for him, okay? Bob Arum is losing, in my opinion, the war between Top Rank and the PBC. He's definitely losing the game of chess. And Terence Crawford is one of his major pieces, and he's definitely trying to maximize the money. Now, one interesting thing I think that was interesting, okay? This is for you, Said 214 as well. Bob Arum said he's gonna try to wait for the winner of Sean Porter and Errol Spence Jr., okay? Now, I personally think I don't know what he's waiting for, but I really don't see him getting that fight next. As much as the fans want to see Terence Crawford and Errol Spence share the ring, I do not believe that that's the fight that's going to happen next. I just don't think so. You know, there's other fights that they said they want to line up for Errol Spence, and we'll see how that plays out. But, you know, Terence Crawford, you know, it's not looking good for him on the part of, you know, getting top-notch competition. You know, and part of that just has to do with who he signed with, you know. Bob Arum is trying to maximize his ability to make money off of Terence Crawford. He doesn't believe that Kell Brook can make the money. He's not known in the United States, so I'm not necessarily sure if it's a duck. And if it is a duck, it's most likely going to be on Bob Arum's part, because we know Terence Crawford basically has to fight whoever they put in front of him. He doesn't necessarily have a choice. Bob Arum is running his career. Bob Arum is controlling, pulling the strings, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I understand what you're saying, that it seems like it could be a duck, and he's complaining that he's not getting fights. But we all know what's going on once he re-signed with Top Rank. He doesn't have any particular say. And I mean, some people might say the same thing about the PBC, but I think with the PBC fighters is that the PBC fighters, they not so much have the ability to get the fights made that they want all the time, but they definitely have the ability to not take certain fights that they don't want. For example, Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, I think they made a verbal offer to Danny Garcia to fight Terence Crawford. Danny Garcia and Angel Garcia, his father and manager, they said nah, they don't want that work. And I don't know if it's just a money thing. I don't know if they wanted more than $3 million or more than $3.5 million. That could probably be the situation, man. So, you know, I really was going to talk about. I really wasn't going to talk about this, but I definitely thought it was a good idea for me to chime in, because the homie asked me to make this particular video. So, do I think it's a duck? No, I don't think it's a duck, but I think it's extremely unfortunate on Terence Crawford's part how he's not able to get top fights. I mean, it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's what he chose to do. He chose to fight on Top Rank. He chose to re-sign with Bob Arum, and this is just, you know, pretty much what comes from it. So I'm not in a position to say he's ducking Kell Brook, but I do know Kell Brook pulled up on that Amir Khan fight. He wanted that work, and I mean, it just goes to show that it's extremely difficult to work with Bob Arum, man. So I'm not going to stay on this video much longer. This is all I got for this one for sure. But this your boy Get a Mic. This is Jim Boxing, and I'll be back with much more content. Thank you guys for tuning in as always, and I'm out. Peace.
Don't stay here. There we go. Don't stay here. Keep it moving. Oh, who is this? That's me. You don't know what's going on. Dude. You don't know what's going on. Dude.